What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Um, I'm acting alright. It's been rough. It's a crazy day. I won't lie to y'all, but I said to myself I won't miss any episodes this year, any more episodes this year. So I'm just trying to, you know, um, be here, and be me as much as I possibly can do it. But I hope you enjoyed the last episode. The video was like a little boring. I'm not gonna lie, but it was interesting information. I mean, I felt like it was worth a watch, even if it's just once. To see how humans, or more so in the U.S., are manipulated, and how they sort of move the world and the media, and what we like, how we learn, how we use our money, the money that's yeah, all over the place. It's interesting. In this episode, I wanna chat about a movie I saw like a few weeks ago. I plan on bringing it up last episode, but I forgot. The movie is Presence by something Soderbergh is the director. This movie is interesting because it's like the first movie ever shot like in view of like whatever is haunting the house. The presence, hence the name. And next we have an episode of XXX, and how he might have sold his soul in jail. But anyways, we'll hop into that afterwards. So the movie, right? Presence. I liked it. It was a little bit slow. Oh, I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it, what we do here is we spoil movies. So you might want to fast forward if you're planning on watching it. If not, all right. So you just enjoy this section. So we're not. The movie is like shot. It's pretty interesting. It's sort of like a flow. So we're looking at like a family move in, Asian family. Like wife is Asian, the husband's white, and they're moving in, and then it's all settled, and whatever's haunting the house, the presence is just watching, right? It's just like we're like a fly on the wall. That's how it is the whole movie, right? And just one of the early scenes is it sort of shows the dynamic of the family. So we see the mom. The mom is really close with the son, like a little bit too close. Like maybe I'm wrong, but like if you've seen a movie, you see that scene and it's like, whoa! It seemed like sexual adjacent. Like her hand was like on his hand. She was looking at him, and she was like, "You're great. You're amazing." I mean, it's his mom, so that's all right. But it just had like it's like weird read in between the lines sort of vibes. I don't know, but let's just brush that off. Um, and it rolls on, and just like normally, it's normal family shit. Like it's moving a little bit slow. The mom is close with the son. The father is close with the daughter, and she's having like sort of a weird moment because her closest friends were actually murdered, or like died in like a weird accident. So she's really sad, and the brother he's an asshole, and he's hanging out in the house. She's in her room. He's hanging out in the house, and he walks in with one of his close friends, right? And he's looking in her. Oh, that's my sister. she's like, hey, how are you? And then and just the next scene is just the house, it is empty, and you see her, the sister, walking in with a friend, sort of on some, on some thought shit. I don't know. She's like, oh, do you want to see my room? Like real subtle. She's like, oh, let's hang out in my room. I want to show you something. And he plays along. He's like, sure, why not? And he's acting all shy and whatever. And in the room, she sort of lays down. She sits like really close and whatnot. And she is flipping she's flipping it on him, because it's her like really like on him, you know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, I'm just vibing, like, are you sure no one's here? And nothing much. And then she ends up leaning in for like a little smooch and whatnot, but like he ends up leaving. He's like, nah, I'm all right. So next scene, or like later on, maybe like 20 minutes later, something like that, all we see is her and him, yeah. She's like all up on him, riding, and like, we're like, whoa. And obviously, whatever's on in the house, the presence is like, let's just say, like, let's name it, because I'm not about to just say whatever is haunting the house, the whole explanation. Let's say Dobby. Let's say Dobby. I like Harry Potter. Let's just say Dobby. Oh wait, no. It might have actually been a woman who was murdered. So let's Emily. Let's say Emily, who's haunting the place. Just so if you hear that, Emily just watching. Emily a weirdo. You feel me? So Shorty hops in the shower and she's showering. He's like, hey, you want a drink? She's like, yeah, sure. And he heads over and makes her a drink while she's in the shower. And it's like normal, like movie, like nothing really wild is happening yet. And as he's making the drink, he slips something out of his of his sweater, and he puts it in her drink, and he mixes it in. So then he sort of brings her the drink. He's like, hey, here you go, have a sip. She's like, oh yeah, in a second. He's like, no, just have a sip. And she's like, sure. And just like Emily now is watching, she shakes the room, in order to so she can break the glass. And it happens, the glass breaks. She's like, fuck. And she's like, oh, it's all right, I'll clean it up. Okay, so that's all that happens. And the father, some scenes where he's looking at the mom. He's like, hey, like what's up? Like, you have she's hurting, your daughter, because she sort of ignores her. The mother and the sister is not really like, it's not a clique. So more normal shit happens, and like right at the end, the like mom and dad are heading out for the weekend, and it's just the brother and the sister at the house, and they're like, please, like, it's only a weekend, no one over, nothing. And they're like, yeah, sure, absolutely, why not? So they leave, and the brother, he plays some music, he gets some alcohol, and he brings that friend over, and they're just hanging out, sipping. He's like, you want a refill? I'll set it up. Mind you, someone like refilling the drink at my house is a little weird. Like, it should be you, filling up the drink. He's like, no, I could do it. He heads over, he's mixing the drinks, and randomly puts something out of his freaking jacket. Then he puts it in the drink, mixes it in, and he brings the brother the drink, and he just watching him sip. Like, bro, have a shot, dude. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. He's having a sip as well, but not much. He's just having like small sip, if at all. And in half an hour, I believe it was like, what's the name? Ambien, maybe. So in like half an hour, yo, our brother was like knocked the fuck out. So he slips up to the second floor and he sees the sister. He's like, hey, what's up? What's up? You want some shots? We're having shots. You know, he's acting like his leg. Come on. She's like, no, I'm all right. And he's like, nah, come on. It's just us here. You know, let's have some fun. And she sips all of it. He's like, in his head, like, I'm sure he's like, yeah. And before you know it, she's like, wow, I'm actually, I'm really sleepy. He's like, it's all right. Just relax. He helps her, you know, lay down. And then all of a sudden, he whips something out. It's like a small plastic. And it's really thin. And he places it over her mouth and nose. And it's hard to breathe through her. And like, all of a sudden, like, we're out here in the movies, like, whoa, like, what the hell just happened? Like, this shit just flipped. Like, I didn't realize, like, this movie was about. It is. So he's holding it over her mouth and her nose. He pulls it up, and he's like explaining how, you know, like the police will never find them, etc. And it was him who murdered her friends. And he's placing it over her mouth and nose over and over and over, sort of like wilding. So Emily like wants to freaking help. Like, she sort of makes an effort, but it's clear that it's not working. I don't know why. So Emily wakes the brother up. You know, she shakes the room on some Pop Smoke shit, and he's sort of waking up, and he looks around, and he doesn't see the friend. And I don't know how he like knows where he was or like what was happening, but like he runs over to the second floor and he's yelling the sister's name, and he runs in the room and just like he hugs him and just like he flings him out the window. But he didn't fling only the friend out the window, he slips out as well. So the next scene, the house is clear and it seems like they're moving out. The mom is really sad, and there's an old mirror in the house, and she looks in it and she sees the son, and she's is weeping. So it seems now that Emily and the son is haunting the house, and it just ends. Movie was interesting. Like I said, it's alright. It's a bit slow, you know, like we're just a fly on the wall. But I liked it. Overall, I liked it, even if it had some slow scenes. Yeah. So lots of horror movies out. Lots of ones I want to see that are out like later on in the year. I saw Hard Eyes as well, but like Hard Eyes was alright. It's like one of those like humorous horror movies where it's just like a bit silly. Honestly, it was an alright watch, but it wasn't all that. Like I'm happy. I had like it was like a low fee because shit, full price I probably would have been mad. But anyways, let's move on. So with all that's happening in hip hop, Drake's suing UMG. We all know labels are evil. Like labels are known to be evil and like do shady shit. Like 100%. So we know how, and I've heard of like how they mess with like artists or whatever, or like allegedly eliminate artists. I don't know. I'm just saying allegedly. Who knows? But it's all assumed, speculation. And XXX was a rapper from South Florida. Let's just say X, who was shot in 2020, dead. And Drake has really like mentioned and alluded to having him hit who placed the hit, I'm sorry, on him. Who knows if it was like really him, but he's mentioning it in music, sort of like haha, yeah, it was me. Like if you haven't heard of some of the of the lyrics in let's say the Sicko Mode music video, it was like a really short scene where X is walking and like he's hit by like some like a meteor or something, and the SMS lyric, how he mentioned him. So over and over, like in these songs, he's he's sort of like alluding and he's mentioning X, which is some wild shit. Like X is fucking dead, bro. Like just let the dead be, But I saw a video that sort of has an interesting angle on all of that, So it might have not been him. It seems like he made a deal and it ran out. Shouts out what's her name? The Truth Is. This is his video. He has some great video. Awesome researcher, man. I wish I was a researcher like that and could like just make something so it's interesting, journalist shit. I wish I had that, and I feel like I'm gonna work on that. So like in future episodes, I can bring you some really like interesting shit, like a deep dive on something of like supernatural related or all of that. So anyways, let's play the video.
I have found multiple people speaking about their experiences at Bruno's house, where they all say he was participating in rituals. One adult film star, Marsha May, who worked with Bruno and was managed by him, said in an interview that Bruno actually would sacrifice the souls of women he did scenes with in his house. She claimed that Bruno had a pentagram underneath his bed and would do a ritual that would allow him to harvest the souls of the people he hooked up with.
So I moved into the model house. He started, the guy that had the model house, he was a male talent too. I actually can't stand him. His name's Bruno. He does some satanic shit now with the girls.
That's on Ruby Lux, right?
Yeah, you know him? Yeah. Okay, well,
like I met him once like in clubs and stuff.
He's a known around. He sacrifices girls' soul and he f***s them on top of his bed. Because he has like the gates of hell pentagon drawn underneath his bed. And he sacrifices girls' soul on top of the bed when he f***s them. So let the world know that, because that is some real demonic shit. That's not cool. And that revolves around xxxtentacion too, because
that whole like scene and stuff is like your name.
XXX does the same thing.
For real?
Yeah, he sacrifices his best friend's soul, Ski Mask. Sacrifices his soul. It's real.
As you heard for yourself, Marsha exposes Bruno and tells the interviewer he is not someone to mess with, repeating to him that he was a Satanist who sacrificed people. She also revealed that xxxtentacion was doing the same things as Bruno, but we will talk more about this shortly. Another woman who also stayed at Bruno's house said the same thing, claiming that he was into Santeria or something dark.
He started managing them, and that's when they started. He was 17 years old. They was 17, 18 years old. I think younger. Hanging out at Bruno's house, a whole bunch of stars. That's why X and them were like insane kids, like doing screamo. Yeah. And Bruno is like, there's videos of Bruno taking X to Disney. Like people said like Bruno was kind of wanted him to be like his little, his like mini or like that. That's like they're twins or like they acted almost like. Yeah. And X admired that. It was so weird, and that's when all those allegations came out. Like he beat up this girl that was at Bruno's house. It's crazy. No one knows that it was Bruno.
Really?
And now none of X's mom, his friends, none of those people fuck with Bruno because he really got this kid into like a bad like lifestyle.
Is he doing something else or just different artists?
Bruno?
Yeah.
Bruno's still doing the same thing he was doing. This is when X was like 17. He had like short hair. He didn't even have like the two like blonde and. He was kid, yeah. He was recording in his house. If I tell you some real right now, like, I'm gonna tell you some crazy. Like, these kids, like, what I've heard, what they did at Bruno's house, Bruno did that in the house when I was there. Later on was, I guess after he started living with these kids, they started doing, like, brujeria. Like, they started doing that shit. And, like, these are facts. Like, Wi-Fi, funeral, and all these guys would say that. Even Juice WRLD would say that. He was like, yeah, like, Bruno was doing, like, they were doing some weird, even X. Supposedly they got some of the girls and did like some weird shit.
Yeah, they can
sacrifice. Throwing blood. Just
they dope them up somehow. So like
As you heard for yourself, this woman claims that Bruno was definitely into the occult, something that Bruno proudly exposed himself during a live stream. During one of Bruno's live streams, he straight up tells his live that he is the Baphomet, then shows a giant mural he has on the wall of Baphomet.
Smart question, because most people don't even ask, they assume. Is it metaphorical? You know what? You're the first one to hit it on the dot. Thank you. That right there is a metaphor for myself. That's me. I am the fucking Baphomet. Am I the devil? Nah.
As you heard for yourself, not only does Bruno confess he is the Baphomet, but he then shows this massive mural on his wall, showing who he truly serves. X was seen taking a photo in front of this very mural. At this moment in my investigation, I started to realize Bruno was the one who introduced X to the world of the occult. By digging, I was able to find out about an incident that took place at Bruno's house between X and his girlfriend Geneva that revealed just what was going on at the house. In this video, Geneva states while she was at Bruno's house, she felt possessed due to what X and Bruno were doing. She then claims that X called his friend who was a part of members only by the name of SB to come perform an exorcism on her. I don't know who SB is, but he does have a song with Ski Master Slump God on YouTube called No More Pain.
I was being possessed. I know that sounds stupid, but to me it wasn't stupid because I'll say it was really into the spiritual, like, you know? And it just backfired because Jose got on the phone and called SB, and he was like, yo, I know your parents or your auntie do woo, come over here and try to, like, save this. And they came over there, had me in a room. They started putting, like, charcoal and, like, some type of rocks in my nose. They were drawing crosses on my feet, on my...
As you heard for yourself, Geneva openly admits that Bruno and X were participating in occult rituals in Bruno's house. Bruno definitely introduced X and all the other rappers he had around him like Puya, Denzel Curry, Ski Mask, Little Pump, Wi-Fi's Funeral, and many others to Thelma and Crowley's beliefs. They're all a part of Thelma. It appears that Bruno most likely had his own Thelma Lodge in Miami, and he indoctrinated these young rappers into the religion, using them to promote its values through their music. Thelma is all about sex magic rituals, and Crowley's Do What Thou Wilt Creole. This is rather interesting since Bruno is an adult film star, filming adult scenes where he is most likely performing sex magic rituals he learned from Crowley's books. I know there's a connection between the adult film industry and Thelma, due to Hugh Hefner, who seemed to also be a Thelmite, but that's a story for another day. Something that's extremely interesting is that while X was living in Bruno's house, he made the song called I Spoke to the Devil in Miami and Everything Would Be Fine, where he mentioned striking a deal with a Baphomet. I have spoken about this song often, but now knowing he made it while living at Bruno's house, and also knowing that Bruno was the one who introduced him to Baphomet and Crowley, things started to make way more sense to me. In the song xxxtentacion raps, bite of your apple, give me all you can offer. Now I'm trapped in a changing maze, setting my soul ablaze. Couldn't control the pace. Where is this going? Hey, heartless is recklessness. I'm off the map, my lord. Spoke to a Baphomet. He said he will save me if I gave him one thing he needed. What is this thing? I pleaded. Boy, it's the key to even yeah. And as I spoke, my fangs were shown. Taken aback, he smiles and tell me, what you crave will soon be yours. But what I crave is already mine. Anima versta, anima, anima versta, anima. This song is very revealing. It reveals how X met and made a deal with Baphomet. He refers to biting the apple, a reference to Adam and Eve and the forbidden fruit. I know many of you are going to comment that in the Bible it doesn't name the fruit that was eaten by Adam and Eve, but the apple is commonly used to represent the fruit since an apple is a fruit. In the song, X states he took a bite from the apple and asked the devil to give him all he can offer. This represents him selling his soul to Lucifer. In the Bible, it also speaks of a moment when Lucifer tried to convince Jesus to kneel to him, offering him the world if he did. Jesus refused his offer, but if we're listening to X, he didn't refuse this deal with the devil. Instead, he took it. X is implying that he took a bite of the apple willingly and sold his soul for all the devil can offer. He then states that he is off the map where he met a Baphomet. X is referring to meeting Baphomet while astral projecting in a dream state. He also mentions making a deal with a Baphomet and claiming that he will save him if he gave him one thing he needed, which we know is a sacrifice. At the end of the song, we find out who X had sacrificed. It turns out to be himself. As in the outro to the song, X said that Baphomet told him all he wants will soon be his, but what Baphomet wants is already his, which is anima versta. Anima versta actually translates to your soul. In this song, X confessed the truth since the beginning, all the way back in 2015, before he was famous, or his career had even taken off. Bruno definitely inspired this song, and he was the one who introduced X to Baphomet and Thelema. X got the idea of sacrifice from Aleister Crowley, who wrote about it in his book called Magic in Theory and Practice, where he states, those magicians who object the use of blood have endeavored to replace it with incense. But the bloody sacrifice, though more dangerous, is more efficacious, and for nearly all purposes, human sacrifice is the best. This is what X was trying to do, but with himself, since he wanted the world. X was so devoted to Crowley's work, he started spreading it through his music. As later, when he started performing, he would repeat a quote by Crowley, every man and woman is a star. X tells his fans the exact same thing during a show.
Listen, I want to say something to you. Alright, so listen. No matter what anybody tells you, each and every individual in here is a star. All of you are important.
In this Medium article, this photographer claims to have been invited to take pictures of a party at Bruno's house. At the party, this photographer claims that he witnessed multiple rappers sit around X while...
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 handpicked products that are trending all over the world, basically validated by AI.
While X openly spoke about the importance of sacrifice and how someone must lose so that you can gain. The photographer claims the conversation was rooted in alchemy, which is an ancient form of witchcraft. X had become consumed with this idea of sacrifice, and he went through with it to have the world. Things get even stranger after this song, as not long after X would be arrested for his crimes he allegedly committed against his former girlfriend Geneva, and then after this he would become a massive superstar. Not long after this song was made, X would become the rap star he is remembered as today, and it's all because of something he did from jail. Back in October 2016, it wasn't looking good for X, who was locked up in jail for allegedly putting hands on his ex-girlfriend Geneva. What he allegedly did to Geneva at Bruno's house was so disturbing I can't even mention it in this video. Just look it up on Google and you'll see for yourself. But according to reports, Geneva was being kept at Bruno's house until she found a way to escape. X looked like he was gonna spend a long time behind bars, but he somehow completely changed his luck around, and by late March he was back outside. But things were now different, as his song Look At Me had completely blown up, making him an overnight star. After spending months in jail, he was now leaving jail a rap star. Ghazi from Empire Records would pick up X and would quickly sign him to Empire Distribution. You may be asking yourself, how did X manage to accomplish this? How did he go from possibly being put away for years to being free and now a rap superstar? Well, it all goes back to a phone call X made to a friend while he was in jail. Sometime while X was in jail for his crimes to Geneva, he made a very revealing call that was recorded to his friend. During the call, X can be heard getting instructions of a ritual he performed that changed the outcome of his entire life.
Alright, what is it? Say it to me.
Yo.
Say the first part.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Say it.
Summoning Hecate, goddess of crossroads, darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and the moon. Please come to me, please.
Right, tell me how to spell the name. Summoning.
The H-ray?
Huh?
Hecate is the H-ray that I was saying.
Wait, H-E?
Hecate.
Hecate. Hecate?
Yeah, goddesses of crossroads.
Or goddess?
I mean, yeah, goddess of crossroads.
Goddess. Darkness.
Wisdom.
Darkness. Witchcraft.
And the moon.
Wait, hold on. Darkness. Witchcraft. Wisdom. Wisdom and what?
And the moon.
And the moon.
Please come to me.
Huh?
Please come to me.
Please.
Please come to me. Please. Hecate.
Please come to me. Please, Hecate.
Yeah.
Please.
Protect me and bring me freedom.
Protect me and bring me freedom.
Through this sacrifice.
Bring me freedom through this. Hecate, right? Okay.
Hecate. Surround me in your darkness so that I can bring forth my light.
So that. Listen, if I have to call back, I want you to put like $50 on the phone, okay? So that.
I'm gonna try because I don't know how much. I'm gonna try and see how much $50 I hit you.
So that I may what?
I
may.
So that I can bring forth my light.
So that I may bring forth or can bring forth.
So that I can.
So that I can bring forth my light.
Yeah.
Is that
Accept this sacrifice.
I'm
gonna just spell out the rest because I don't know what else she wanted me to say soon.
Is there a lot left or no?
It's just a few sentences, like it's like a sentence.
Oh, D.
D.
Okay.
Forever.
Wait, F-O-R.
Ever. I-N.
I-M?
I-N.
I what?
I-N.
I-N, okay.
E-X-T.
E-X. Wait, E-X what? E-X-T-H?
E-X-T. E-X-T-H.
A-N-G-E?
Yeah. The number, well, F-O-R.
F-O-R. Yes.
M as in mom, Y.
Y.
F-R-E-E-D-O-M.
O-M, okay.
S-O.
Huh?
S as in snake, O.
Yes. O, okay.
M as in mom, O-T-E.
Wait, S-O-M.
M-O-T-E.
S-O-M.
No, it's so, and then
So?
M-O-T-E.
So, wait, so is that word together or?
The crossroads magic, witchcraft, and moon magic. During the phone call, we hear the person that X was talking about repeatedly tell X it was a sacrifice ritual. X was told to end the ritual by saying "So mote it be," which is a Masonic saying. X wrote all this down and performed this ritual, and not long after, he was a free man with an overnight fan base taking over the world. What makes this entire phone call so much more disturbing is X being told he needs to go perform a sacrifice. A sacrifice I believe he accomplished with Jocelyn Flores. See, X was released from jail March 2017, and in May 2017, a young woman named Jocelyn passed away within 24 hours of meeting up with X. It was reported that Jocelyn took herself out after an incident that took place with X and another girl. Jocelyn met X because she modeled for his merch brand, and it's believed she then started a relationship with X. X would eventually fly her out to be a part of a photo shoot and to spend some time with him, and less than 24 hours later, she was gone. X even dedicated 2 songs to her on his debut project, one of them being named after her. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was talking about sacrificing to Hecate, and then Jocelyn passes away within 24 hours of meeting him. What's really interesting is that around the same time this happened with Jocelyn, he uploaded a speech to his SoundCloud account back on May 26, 2017. In the speech, X shouts out a man called Teflon Don 187. In the end of the speech, he literally says, "Shout out to Teflon Sean. You need to make a sound clown, Teflon. But yeah, also study the golden beetle." With that being said, goodbye. The golden beetle or the golden scarab beetle is an ancient Egyptian deity connected to mystic initiation rituals. Teflon seems to have introduced this to X while hanging out with him at no other than Bruno's house. Looking into Teflon Sean, he is a straight up Satanist and an open Thelmite. On his Instagram page, he has paintings of Baphomet and coded messages that all points back to Thelma. But on his Twitter is where we find more interesting tweets that are truly revealing. In this tweet, Teflon Sean tweets, "Our mission is still the same. Destroy Earth through control of the children's mind." Open as day, this guy revealed the very thing we're fighting against on this channel. Satan manipulating the minds of the youth. Teflon Sean also tweeted, "This is just the beginning of the end. World domination 666. Teflon appears to be referring to the new Masonic World Order, as he also posted the Masonic square and compasses. This is interesting because X was told to end the ritual by saying, "So mote it be," which is a Masonic saying. Teflon Sean also seems to have a video posted on his Instagram account where he's at an event that's located inside a Scottish Rite Lodge. He also posted photos of Crowley and other satanic imageries on his Instagram and Twitter. This is the man that X shouted out in his speech, a person who is a devoted follower of Aleister Crowley. All of this was happening as X was becoming bigger and bigger, but at the cost of his soul. Not long after X was a star, he would end up passing away when he was taken out at a motorcycle shop. Many people believe Drake has something to do with this, and I thought so too, but for a moment I was confused because back in 2015, in the song I Spoke to the Devil in Miami, X already admitted he had sacrificed himself to the devil. He ended the song by saying Baphomet has his soul, when he said Anima Versta. But X himself did say that if anything happened to him, it was Drake. Well, the thing is, I believe X was actually referring to Satan when he mentioned Drake. If you look up what Drake means in Old English, it means Satan or dragon. I believe X was using the name Drake referring to Satan because he had already admitted he sacrificed himself to Baphomet. I do think X tried saving himself though by trying to sacrifice his best friend Ski Mask the Slump God, but failed. Back in 2017, Ski Mask and X had stopped messing with each other. This is when X posted on his Instagram that if Ski Mask doesn't start talking to him again, he was gonna quit making music. This made several of X's fans harass Ski Mask in order to get him to talk to X. Ski Mask refused and would eventually post this on his Instagram story, telling people he stopped talking to X because he tried to sacrifice him. I believe X was trying to replace himself with Ski Mask last minute, but Ski Mask wasn't having it and kept his distance from him. X had to do exactly what he said, sacrifice himself to Baphomet. This is why we saw X start to change towards the end of his life, as he knew his ending was coming. X claiming that Drake would take him out was a reference to Satan coming to collect his soul. Now, I will say it is interesting that Drake is the biggest artist in hip-hop and calls himself the Sixth God, while his name literally means Satan.
Whew. Yeah, ain't gonna lie to y'all. How to like split up that like whatever like ritual that was, had to split it up a little bit. Like ain't let y'all hear the whole thing. I'm sure I didn't hear the whole thing. I don't want like nothing being summoned up in this house. Hell no. I don't know what he said. So yeah, as y'all could see, like a lot was happening behind the scenes that we don't know. So who knows? Might have been Drake, might have not. But like if you've also heard, like X used to always say that he won't make it to 21, and he didn't make it to 21. That's it's just always wild to me, like how some know or like already have like a vision, like, oh yeah, this will happen to me. I won't make it, and it's just like, yo, like it's really freaking fascinating, you know. But it's also really sad. He had a lot of issues, you know, rough upbringing, and right at the end, he switched up. You know, he was someone who was more graceful, nicer, you know, wanting to help others. And yeah, I don't know, man, but it's life. That's Hollywood. That's music. It's the real dark side. And you've heard it on here over and over how this shit happens. Well, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Please like and subscribe. If you have any whatever, you know, weird supernatural or just something flat out weird that's happened to you, like, you know, I'll play it on the episode. Email below, show some love on our platforms, audio only, and I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one.